Fina. Go and pop that Fina. Sip a little bit of that Fina. Drink a little bit of that Fina. Cause it's that damn good. Alright now, hey, CJ got some predictions for these two main event matches at WrestleMania Night 1 and 2. So we're going to go ahead and check it out, alright?
Well, it looks like WrestleMania 41 Night 1 has officially been spoiled, okay? If you don't want to know about potential spoilers, because nothing's confirmed, obviously we don't know who's going to win or what's going to happen yet 100%, because we haven't seen it, you know what I'm saying? However, I will say that there are some very heavy reports that make a ton of sense as to who's going to win the Night 1 main event, and obviously the Night 2 main event, which I talked about a couple weeks ago. That seems like it's already set in stone who's going to win that match. So without further ado, let's get into this, okay? Number one, we obviously have seen recently that Roman Reigns and the triple threat has been centered around him and Paul Heyman, you know what I'm saying, and CM Punk and that whole dynamic, which basically leaves like, you know, Seth Rollins really feels like the odd man out in a feud that he started, because this feud and this whole entire triple threat is nonsensical mess, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically the situation. However, because Seth feels left out, they're doing this so that, you know, you're distracted. You're too focused on Heyman and Punk and Roman and the wise man and all this other stuff, but that distracts you from the fact that Seth is the one kind of like the Joker in this situation, right? He's orchestrating this whole thing and just sitting back laughing, and he's proud of what he's constructing. You know, he looks back at in the segment the other night, right? Seth Rollins is just sitting back and he's just laughing at everything like he's the big orchestrator of all this madness. And that's the kind of Loki-esque role they're going to try and give Seth Rollins here. And because of this, there's heavy rumors actually and reports that CM Punk versus Roman Reigns is actually the plan for this year's SummerSlam. We know SummerSlam has Night 1 and Night 2 now this year, and CM Punk versus Roman Reigns is slated for that PLE, and it looks like it's probably going to main event either Night 1 or Night 2. I personally am absolutely tired of Roman Reigns doing meaningless feuds, and speaking of Roman Reigns, it's also rumored that he's going to be taking another leave of absence after this WrestleMania, like he did last year, how he went away for 4 months. I think this year the rumor is that he's going to be leaving for about 2 or 3 months, and then he'll come back to build for SummerSlam and fight Punk, and then after that we probably won't see him until Survivor Series time. So that's basically the rumors with Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. It looks like Roman Reigns and Punk are going to probably have so much beef and so much feuding with each other over Paul Heyman that it's going to leave the door open for Seth to beat them up while they're distracted or something, and Seth Rollins will probably be able to get the pin on CM Punk here in this situation, because I don't think he needs to pin Roman. He's going to end up pinning Roman again at some point, or losing to Roman again in a 1v1, so you don't need to have him pin Roman here. He'll end up probably pinning Punk so he can finally say, I pinned CM Punk and I beat CM Punk and beat Roman Reigns in the main event of Night 1, which again, Night 1 isn't a real main event, but it's the main event of Night 1, so there you have it, okay? I don't really know how to feel about this. Quite frankly, I'm going to talk about this for like a minute or two real quick. Roman Reigns and CM Punk, like, I feel like we're walking in quicksand now. Roman Reigns came back and got the Ula Fala. Check. Then the goal was to get the world title back, his championship back from Cody Rhodes. Which, again, why is Roman Reigns, who had the belt for 4 years, why is he not getting a rematch for his championship? You understand? None of this stuff makes any sense. That's the nonsensical part about it. And then we build this favor up between Heyman and Punk. I have a favor. And then we build up for this for 5 months, and the favor is just that Paul Heyman's in his corner at WrestleMania, just for him to potentially lose and get pinned by Seth Rollins? Really? This is the type of booking that we get. But this is the thing. WWE on their YouTube segments and IG Reels and all that stuff, CM Punk and Roman Reigns do great numbers for them on YouTube and on Instagram and, on social media. And I think because of that, Triple H, for once has made a decision that's actually best for personal business, you know what I'm saying? And because of that, he's actually made the conscious effort, to feature Punk and Roman as the main headliners of this Mania Night 1 and of, bigger PLEs going forward. So he wants this as a concurrent story that keeps stretching throughout the entire year, So I see why they're doing this, quite frankly, from a business perspective, but storyline-wise, this is embarrassing. If you're champ for 4 years and can't get one rematch, well, what does that even mean anymore? Like after Gunther loses his belt to Jey Uso, is Gunther just never going to get a rematch? He just has to wait another year and a half to get another world title shot. It's like, what are we doing here? Roman should have had a world title shot immediately as soon as he came back because he was Roman. Number one, he's Roman Reigns. You know, no one has more political stroke than Roman Reigns. Plus, he's the fact that he was the champ for 4 years. There should always be a rematch clause when you hold a belt for any amount of time like that. That is ridiculous. You know, so the fact that he was forced into this feud with Punk and Rollins, and it doesn't really make any sense why it's happening, and now it's forced on the wise man. The favor was extremely underwhelming, but I predicted the favor 5 months ago. We already knew it was just going to be Punk is going to end up siding with Paul Heyman at some point in the bigger PLEs of this year, 2025. And sure enough, that's exactly what we're getting. So it's just as simple as that. I don't like this whole feud. I don't really care for seeing Punk and Roman at SummerSlam. The promo segments and the build to that SummerSlam match is probably going to be pretty fun and pretty good because they're both really good at what they do. However, okay, that doesn't mean that it makes sense, and that doesn't mean that I want to see it. It's kind of like how Rock and Roman nearly happened at Mania 40 last year, but the fans didn't want to see it like that in those current character dynamic currently, so they had them, the WWE had to pivot. That's how I think this should go. I really hope that it's set in stone. I think Rollins deserves this win. He needs this win. You know what I'm saying? I respect you. I need you. I love you. Seth Rollins at this point, okay, he just gets thrown into random stuff every single Mania season. You ever notice that? WrestleMania 20, he fights Kevin Owens, then he fights Cesaro, then he fights Cody Rhodes returning, and then he fights Logan Paul, and then he's shoved into a tag match night 1, and then he shows up night 2 and gets Claymored by Drew McIntyre and loses his world title, because he can't stop thinking about Punk, and that's it. So, I don't know. I find it to be absolutely insane. I think Rollins should finally have a moment where he genuinely pins someone of meaning, in the middle of the ring in a main event level match at WrestleMania. That's what should happen. I think this is deserved. Seth Rollins has earned this opportunity. At least for over the last decade, he hasn't won any meaningful WrestleMania matches besides his Money in the Bank cash-in, realistically. So I think and he beat Brock Lesnar at Mania 35, so that's that. But other than that, he hasn't really won any meaningful, poignant matches. So I think it's time for him to do so. Now let's talk about Night 2. Night 2 has already basically been set in stone. The simple reason it's been set in stone is because John Cena, over the first 4 months of the year, has only shown up like 5 times on Raw or SmackDown. You understand? So, and he's been on 2 PLEs. So that's 7 dates. He's supposed to have 36 dates all year. The reason why 1/3 has already gone down and he only has 7 dates is because in the second and third of the year, what's it called? What am I trying to say? From April to August, and then from August to December, that's where the bulk of John Cena's dates are going to come from, okay? If you have 36 dates and there's 12 months, you should be doing, every third of the year, you should be doing 12 dates. But instead, he's done 7 dates for the first quarter. The reason for the first third, I'm doing all these fractions and math, you know what I'm saying? I'm a mathematician, huh? I respect you. Now, let me stop. The fact is, John Cena is only doing, a 7 dates for the first third of the year, because in the second and third, he's going to be there a lot more. The reason why he's going to be there 3 or 4 times the amount he was before is because he's going to win the championship. That's the reason why they had him not show up for the first parts, and now he's going to be there pretty much semi-consistently throughout the rest of the year, starting after WrestleMania 41 and maybe starting with Backlash. So that's basically the situation with that. I think this is perfect. It's about time that John Cena finally gets his 17th championship, and quite frankly, they need this. Cody Rhodes' championship reign has been atrocious. The merch sales are down overall. The viewership is down. The intrigue and hype is down. John Cena is the driving force of this WrestleMania 41 as a whole. He's the main talking point, and he's the main selling point. And it's his final year in WWE. It's time to give him the belt early. I don't want Cena winning the belt with 2 or 3 months left in the year. He needs to win it now with 8 months left, so we can have a lot of time to tell multiple different stories and actually have a legitimate reign with him as champion. So I'm looking forward to this. I think as far as it goes with the booking, I think booking and business-wise, both of these Night 1 and Night 2 main events, both of these main events, the winner makes sense. Okay, I'm not going to lie. This actually makes sense if they do this, of course, because nothing's confirmed yet, obviously. But if they do this, which, Cena winning is basically all but confirmed at this point, unless Triple H is an idiot, because it genuinely would be, no joke here, off camera and on camera and in storyline, like kayfabe versus non-kayfabe, John Cena makes sense to win in both scenarios. It makes sense behind closed doors with business, and it makes sense to put the best product in front of the fans. John Cena has to win this match. If he doesn't, it's a failure. Right? This just doesn't make any sense. I don't care if Cody turns heel and does a double turn and John Cena has to overcut. No. John Cena needs to win this match clean, and he needs to move on to WrestleMania. It doesn't even matter if he wins clean, quite frankly. He just needs to win the match. Whether it's interference, rock interference, ref bumps, low blows, don't matter. John Cena needs to walk out with that WWE Championship, and Seth Rollins should realistically walk out of night one as the winner, because again, Seth Rollins makes sense to win that match because no one's focused on him. If you're not the guy who's focused on, you can easily sneak up and get done what you need to get done. You know, if you need to curb stomp someone, you curb stomp them. If you need to attack someone, you attack someone. And that way Seth can finish off this feud and finally be done with his hatred for both of these two, you know, Roman and Punk. And then Cena can finally win his 17th World Championship, and officially we can move on with this whole entire Cody Rhodes garbage championship reign. And then Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns will likely take like a 2 or 3 month hiatus, and then they'll come back maybe in the summer, and that'll basically be that. So from a booking perspective and business perspective, these two night one, night two main events, they do kind of make sense on paper if they go with these exact routes. However, if they deviate from these routes, and like, for example, you know what I mean, Punk has Heyman in his corner and Roman wins the night one main event just to fight him again in SummerSlam, now we're being stupid. That's basically what it is. And then obviously, if Cody Rhodes, Stardust, beats John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania 41, and with John Cena doing like the biggest heel turn of all time, it makes no sense for Stardust, you know what I'm saying, Cody Rhodes to actually go out there and beat him night two in a main event match for John Cena's potential 17th WWE World Championship. It's ridiculous at this point. Make the right decisions, and maybe you can at least make both main events make sense and maybe entertaining. But in all seriousness, the rest of this show is really where the problems lie. Even though I don't like the Roman, Seth, and Punk feud, at least people will tune into it because you have three big names. I mean, at least you always have that. You know what I mean? The story's weak, and the build up to it has been pretty weak in my opinion. But at least people will tune into it. And with John Cena, at least he's gonna win. That's really all it comes down to. He clearly needs to win the match. So, you know, other than those two matches, though, everything else does look like it's absolute garbage. Believe it or not, though, I am minorly excited for Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. I have to be honest. I'm not excited. Okay, that's a stretch. But I'm curious. I'm interested. Both of those video packages the other night on SmackDown, I thought were actually pretty decently well done. So I'm curious to see what happens with that. And there's maybe one or two other matches that are going to be interesting or cool. But the large majority of this stuff, I mean, out of the 8 or 7 matches confirmed, 3 of them are absolute garbage, and then 3 of them are like average. That's really all you got. So, you know, here, what it is. We'll see what happens in 2 weeks. But right now, those are what some potential spoilers look like for Mania Night 1 and Mania Night 2. Let me know what you think about it in the comment sections below. And as always, have a phenomenal day. Peace out and one love.
All right, now we're done with those 2 predictions. Let's get to this prediction. So, my prediction for these 4. Now, I'm predicting that Finn might win. And here's why. Because I'm going to play you a video where I was going to do separately. But because I feel like it's important to listen to the truth, I think we should play the video now and wonder if this is going to happen at WrestleMania 41. Because if there's a plot twist between Dom and Finn, we might get the truth of how Liv Morgan really feels about Dominik Mysterio. So, like I said, I have 3 predictions, but I think you guys should watch this video first before you get the full prediction of what I predict that this video might speak for me. So we're going to get to the next video. So I'm going to do a merge on this video. You already heard 10 minutes of his predictions on 2 matches. Now you're about to hear mine. So here's the title of the video, and here's the title of the channel. Let's get started.
What's good, wrestling fam? Welcome back to Suplex Saga, the place where we break down the wildest twists, the hottest rivalries, and the juiciest mysteries in WWE. Today we've got something big, something that's got the WWE Universe buzzing. Here's your hook, a storyline theory for Finn that a lot of fans thought was over with just came back to the forefront in a big way. So we'll see what's new there. Oh yeah, we're talking about the apparent revival of one of the longest-running fan theories for the Judgment Day, the Finn Balor and Liv Morgan secret affair. If you've been keeping up with the Judgment Day in 2024 and now into 2025, you know it's been chaos. Betrayals, power shifts, and more tension than a steel cage match. But lately, an old theory's creeping back into the conversation, one that suggests Finn and Liv might...
Hold up. I need you guys to look at that. You see how Liv Morgan came out of the passenger seat and Finn Balor came out of the driver's seat? Well, That was back in 2024 before SummerSlam. So just remember that. This clip right here, this ain't a clip, but this is a screenshot of this right here is a reason why this isn't about Liv and Dom. This is about Finn and Liv Morgan's plan to get rid of the Judgment Day. That was their plan, and that was their motto. So let's continue with the theory that most likely is about to come to the light.
Might have been cooking up something behind closed doors. Suspicious moments, secret deals, and a certain hotel room key card incident that still haunts us. What's the deal? Is this theory back for real? And could it shake up everything at WrestleMania 41? We're about to dive in deep, starting with the history, breaking down the clues, and speculating on where this roller coaster's headed. So, Suplex Saga crew, buckle up. This is gonna be a wild one.
Wild one.
Smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're new, and let's get rolling. Alright, let's rewind the tape. How did this Finn and Liv theory even start? Picture this. Mid-2024, the Judgment Day's in a rough spot. Rhea Ripley's sidelined with an injury, and Liv Morgan's stepping up, helping the group in big ways. The faction split. Half the crew's loyal to Rhea, the other half's warming up to Liv. Dominik Mysterio's fighting temptation. JD McDonough and Carlito are on the fence, and Damian Priest is Team Rhea all the way. But there's one guy who doesn't hesitate. Finn Balor. From a jump, Finn's Team Liv. No debate, no conflict, just straight up ride or die. Think about it. As soon as Rhea's out of the picture, Liv's bailing out the Judgment Day left and right, interfering in matches, dropping distractions, you name it. And Finn? He's the one moving pieces, pulling strings to get Liv closer to the group. Fast forward to SummerSlam 2024. Rhea and Damian get kicked out. Finn takes over as leader, and his first move? Bringing Liv Morgan in as an official member.
Now, guys, before y'all start commenting and saying Finn Balor said there's no leaders in this group, just remember, when you say that, it's not just Finn saying that. It's Liv Morgan living that. Think about it. Y'all say that there's no leader in the group, right? Finn said that, right? But however, who says that Liv Morgan should take control in the group? Who says that Dom should take control in the group? You said there's no leader in the Judgment Day, right? So how can you say that when Liv Morgan's leading? How can you say that when Dom lead JD to his injury? Not saying it was his fault, but I'm saying you didn't have to have that match. It could have just been Carlito and Dom. But it didn't come to that, did it? It didn't. So, with that being said, when you say there's no leader, I think everyone agrees that there's no leader, except you guys are leading. So don't say that, oh, Finn says there's no leader, when the reality of it is 3 people are leading: Carlito, Raquel, and JD. So let's not sit here and act like this is all Finn, when Liv and Dom were leading while he was gone, and now they want to take control. But the question is Liv Morgan going to take control? Or is it going to be Finn and Liv taking control? Or is it going to be Liv and Dom taking control? That's what we got to know. And we'll get to the whys later, but I want you guys to listen carefully to this video. For this video is important for the listeners to understand that this is not about Liv and Dom. This is about Finn and Liv destroying the Judgment Day. As you see, the Judgment Day are falling out, right? Well, guess what? It's going to fall out even more down the road, whoever gets kicked out. So you're about to see what's up. Wild moments are coming soon. Let's continue.
That's bold. It's quick. And it makes you wonder, was something brewing between Finn and Liv behind the scenes for months? Let's talk suspicious moments, because 2024 was full of them. 1 week on Raw, Finn and Liv are spotted backstage, chatting privately in a truck, just the two of them. No cameras, no group, just Finn and Liv. What were they saying? What were they planning? WWE never gave us the answer. And that's when fans started whispering. Then there's the Raquel Rodriguez return. Days before Raquel shows up to help Liv, Finn calls Dom and says, "Tell Liv the business we talked about is done." Turns out, Finn arranged Raquel's comeback. All off-screen, all hush-hush, just between him and Liv. So, Finn and Liv are exchanging favors, keeping secrets, and leaving the rest of the Judgment Day out of the loop. It's subtle, but it's there. And it's not just big moves. Little things add up too. Lingering glances, quiet smirks, moments that don't quite fit the just business excuse. By mid-2024, fans were convinced. Finn and Liv were up to something. Maybe a partnership. Maybe more. And then came the moment that blew it wide open. The hotel room keycard incident. Buckle up, fam, because that's where this theory catches fire. Okay, Suplex Saga fam, let's get to the good stuff. The hotel room keycard incident. It's mid-2024, and Liv Morgan's on a mission to tempt Dominik Mysterio away from Rhea Ripley. She's flirting hard, dropping hints, and one night, she slips Dom her hotel room keycard. "I'll be waiting," she says with that sly Liv smile. Dom's torn. He's been fighting off Liv's charm for weeks, but instead of sneaking off, he brings the keycard to the Judgment Day and slams it on the table. The group erupts. Damien's pissed, JD's confused, Carlito's probably cracking a joke, but while they're all arguing, the camera catches something huge. Finn Balor, cool as ever, quietly grabs the keycard and slips it into his jacket. No one notices. He doesn't say a word, just pockets it like it's nothing.
Here's a clip right here. Took the key, put it in his pocket. Look at him grabbing the key, putting it in his pocket. Are we lying? Nope. I don't think so. We're not lying about anything.
The segment ends, and we're left staring at our screens like, what just happened? Why'd Finn take it? Was he protecting Dom from temptation? Setting up a trap? Or, hear me out, did he use it himself? Fans went nuts. Some thought Finn was working with Liv to push Dom into a corner, maybe catch him slipping. Others wondered if Finn visited Liv's room that night. I mean, think about it. Liv somehow got Dom's phone number without him giving it to her. Someone in the Judgment Day coughed it up, and Finn's the guy with a track record of secret deals with Liv. Did he pass her the digits? This wasn't just a random moment. It was the lid popping off the jar. All those private chats, the truck convo, Raquel's return, suddenly it felt connected. The Finn-Liv theory exploded. Were they just allies, or was there a secret affair? WWE left us hanging, never showing what Finn did with that keycard. Did he hold on to it? Did he knock on Liv's door? We don't know, and that's what made it so juicy. For a while, it was the theory. Every Raw recap, every fan forum was buzzing about Finn and Liv. But as 2024 turned to 2025, the storyline shifted. Dom and Liv got tighter, Finn faded into the background, and the theory cooled off. We figured it was done, until Finn himself brought it back. March 2025, Raw recap show, Finn finally speaks. "I took the keycard with pure intentions." It was like a loaded weapon with all that tension flying around. "I held on to it to keep everyone safe, then gave it back to Dom when things settled." Pure intentions? Really, Finn? He's a mastermind. Prince Devitt doesn't just keep things safe without an angle. Is he covering his tracks? Why bring it up now, almost a year later? It's like he's daring us to dig deeper. And trust me, Suplex Saga fam, that's exactly what we're doing next, because this theory's alive and kicking. So why is this Finn-Liv theory back now? It's not just Finn's random keycard comment. There's fresh meat on the table in 2025, and the Judgment Day's drama is heating up. Let's break it down.
Now, I don't know about the Raquel situation. I still think Liv Morgan brung her to the group. However, he's saying, whoever is behind this video, he's saying a lot of things that you guys need to hear. I mean, he said he took the key, which I just showed you the clip. He Finn and Liv came out the same vehicle, which I just showed you a screenshot. And y'all still think that Liv and Dom are working together to kick Finn out the group? Look, I still think there might be a plot twist at WrestleMania 41, but I am hoping that the storyline will continue because of the Wyatt Six and Alexa Bliss. But however, if they kick Dom out of the group, it's just going to be left with 5 of them. And if that happens, then most likely they're shorthanded. So and the Wyatt Six is about to be 6 members. So if they don't have Dom with them to help them, then they're pretty much are handicapped. There's 5 of them and 6 of the Wyatts. So my prediction is this. I would like it to be this, where Finn and Dom get into a scuffle and we hear a ding, 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 ding. Here comes the Wyatts. And if that happens, then we got ourselves a storyline for Monday Night Raw. But if Finn and Liv Morgan betray Dom at that night, then maybe we might not get the Wyatts. Maybe we'll just get Alexa Bliss. But would I like the storyline if Alexa Bliss talk about Dom and how Liv Morgan took advantage of him and whatnot? No, I would rather for her to say something like, we knew that you used Dom for gold and you never loved him. You only used him just to help you get gold. Now, that storyline would have been great if they were still together, because then Dom will see and start to think that, like, imagine a segment like this, right? Where Dom is like, is that true? You used me for gold? And then Liv was like, no. I love you. I do. I will. Lexa's just talking. But then there's evidence to show that she only used him for gold. And if that happens, then it's probably going to bring me back to a time where Edge and Vicky Guerrero were going to get married on SmackDown. But there's a clip of Edge making out with Alicia Fox. And then next thing you know, Vicky Guerrero gone crazy. But there's also a video where Big Show was making out with Vicky Guerrero. Remember that? So there's a lot of things going on here. I mean, look, I'm hoping that the storyline will continue, just because I do want to see the Wyatts versus the Judgment Day. But if Finn and Liv going to cut the plug early, then maybe they shouldn't come back too soon. But I need them back soon, because Alexa Bliss can't be sitting on her ass the whole time. I mean, she got to do something. I understand she got a kid and all that, but she could bring her kid to work like Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. So it's no big deal. She did it before. She can do it again. So I don't know what. Now, I'm going to give y'all 3 plots at the end of this video, but let's just continue because there's some more facts and some more theories. So let's continue.
Right now, Dominik Mysterio's chasing the Intercontinental Championship, held by Braun Breaker. Dom's on a roll, stacking wins, building momentum, and Liv's right there, cheering him on. But Finn Balor's got his eyes on that IC title too. On Raw, Finn and Dom are clashing. Finn wants a shot, Dom's not backing down, and Liv's stuck in the middle, hyping Dom, while Finn smirks in the background. The Judgment Day's cracking, tension's thick, and it feels like a split's coming. But what if it's all a front? What if Finn and Liv are playing us, and Dom, right now? Back in 2024, they were tight, secret talks, favors, that keycard moment. What if that never stopped? What if they've been running a long con, manipulating the Judgment Day from the shadows? Finn bringing up the keycard feels like a taunt. He's reminding us of the past, stirring the pot. And those backstage arguments with Liv? They're loud, sure, but they feel scripted, like they're overacting to throw us off. Picture this. Dom's closing in on the IC title. Liv's in his corner, Finn's lurking. What if Liv screws Dom at the last second, cost him the match, and Finn swoops in to take the gold? It'd be a double cross for the ages. Dom betrayed by the 2 people he trusts most, Finn and Liv revealed as partners all along. Maybe even lovers. It's a twist that'd flip the script, and it fits the clues. Those 2024 moments suddenly make sense. And who's running the show? Triple H. Since he took over creative, he's been all about long-term storytelling. Think Cody's arc, Sami Zayn with the bloodline. He loves planting seeds, dropping callbacks, and hitting us with payoffs that make us rewatch everything. If Finn and Liv have been secretly aligned since 2024, revealing it now would be pure Triple H, making us go, it was there the whole time. The truck, the phone number, the key card, it'd all click. Is this why Finn's talking now? Is WWE building to something massive? The Judgment Day's at a crossroads, and this theory's back with a vengeance. Let's take it to the grandest stage, WrestleMania 41, and see where it might explode. Let's jump to April 2025, WrestleMania 41, the biggest stage of them all. If this Finn-Liv theory's real, it could be the moment it all blows up. Here's how it might play out. The predictable route. First, the obvious path. Finn gets exiled from the Judgment Day. Dom and Liv finally stand up to him. Maybe Finn costs Dom a match, or he tries to steal the IC title shot. It's been hinted at. Finn's ego clashing with Dom's rise, Liv picking Dom's side. Finn's out, maybe turns face, and the Judgment Day rolls on with Dom as leader. It's simple, it's clean, and it's kinda boring, right? The unpredictable twist. Now the swerve, Dom's in the ring at Mania, facing Braun Breaker for the IC title. He's seconds from winning. Crowd's going wild, Liv's cheering. And then bam, Liv turns on him, hits him with a chair, costs him the match. Finn slides in, pins Braun, and walks out champ. Then the real kicker. Finn and Liv stand tall, maybe even lock eyes or lips, revealing their secret affair. Dom's crushed, the fans are shocked, and the Judgment Day implodes. That's a gut punch. Fam, Dom's been betrayed by everyone. His dad, Rhea, now Liv and Finn.
Well, Rhea and his dad didn't betray him. He betrayed them. So him getting betrayed by Finn and Liv will be the first of him getting betrayed. So I just want to clear that up.
It's brutal, but it's gold. And it ties back to everything. The truck chats, the key card, the phone number. Triple H loves a twist like this. Long-term booking with a payoff that sends us scrambling to rewatch 2024. Why it works. This fits Triple H's style perfectly. He's brought back old rivalries, paid off years-old stories, and rewarded fans who catch the details. A Finn-Liv reveal would be a masterclass, proof WWE's playing chess while we're playing checkers. Plus, it sets up a fire feud. Dom versus Finn, with Liv in the mix. Maybe a mixed tag later. The possibilities are endless. The flip side. Okay, maybe Finn's telling the truth. Maybe he did just hold the key card to keep everyone safe. Maybe the bickering with Liv is legit, and they're just fighting over the title. But come on, where's the drama in that? Wrestling thrives on the unexpected, and this theory's too juicy to fizzle out. What do you think, Suplex Saga fam? Is Finn and Liv's secret real? Will Mania 41 be the big reveal? Let's see what the WWE Universe is saying. Because you guys are all over this. Time to bring in the real MVPs, the WWE Universe. You've been lighting up X, Reddit, and Instagram with your takes on Finn and Liv, and I'm here for it. Let's dive into what you're saying. The Believers. Team Affair is out in force. Finn and Liv have been a thing since 2024. Dom's clueless, one X user tweeted. The key card? Finn totally used it, another said. You're dissecting clips, every smirk, every glance. A Reddit fan wrote, Finn gave Liv Dom's number, set up the hotel trap, it's all a plan. You're sold, and I get it, the evidence stacks up. The doubters. Not everyone's buying it. It's a distraction, WWE's trolling us, one skeptic posted. Finn's too loyal to mess with Liv, another argued. Some think it's pure storyline. They're just building to a split, no affair. Fair, but you're missing the fun. Those clues are too good to ignore. Mania predictions. Your WrestleMania ideas? Straight fire. Liv screws Dom. Finn wins the IC title, book it, one fan said. Dom catches Finn and Liv backstage Brawl City, another predicted. A wild one. Finn and Liv fake the affair to trick Dom into quitting. You're throwing out bangers, and I'm loving every second. Triple H praise. You're hyped for Triple H's booking too. If they pull this off, it's genius. 2024 seeds blooming in 2025. One comment read, "This is why WWE's back. Long-term stories, big twists." Another said, "You're invested." And that's what makes this theory hit different. So, hit the comments. What's your call? Finn and Liv, secret lovers or master manipulators?
Master manipulators. But I'll do a poll later. But yeah, the polls pretty much say that Dom is going to get kicked out. I mean, if you look at these screenshots, you will see why. I mean, everybody voted that Liv and Dom are most likely working together. And not everybody say that Liv and Dom are going to work together after. So it's pretty much going to happen, guys. I don't know. But everybody say that it's going to be a plot twist either at WrestleMania or after. And right now, the polls are saying after, but they might say, but it might happen at WrestleMania 41. You never know. But I don't know if Dom's going to win. I don't know if Finn's going to win. But I do know if Dom gets screwed, then Finn is winning. Okay? So for everybody saying Dom's going to win, Penta's going to win, Braun's going to win, maybe Liv might help Finn Balor just because they are working together. So, and the truth will reveal. And then at that point, Dom just going to have to accept the fact that Liv Morgan is a manipulator. She's a manipulated person, and we've been saying that, but nobody wants to listen. Everybody will say, "Live it, Dom, live it, Dom, live it, Dom." Shut the fuck up, please. Okay? Because the truth is that Liv and Dom were not in love. Okay? Dom might think he's in love, but Liv is like, man, I'm just going I'm just going with the flow. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sticking to the plan. All right? I got my gold right here. I'm going to try to get Finn some gold as well. So, yeah, and the fans are going to be looking at that and be like, so you help Finn, but you don't want to help Dom? And it's just like, well, she's making it seem like, well, she could say that, well, I did help you get a title shot, so you should thank me, right? But then again, Dom never went to Adam Pearce and say that I want a title shot. Liv just did it just because she knows it's going to drive Finn insane. So now that the match is confirmed, thanks to Adam Pearce, now we got to see where Finn and Dom are going to do from here. So y'all get in the comment box and discuss. If you want to talk about C-Jack's video, you can. Or you could talk about this video with the Liv and Dom and Finn and Liv theory. Pick a topic and discuss it in the comment box, all right? So get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. Pick a topic and discuss it in the comment box, all right? I'm out.